Cheryl Pounder now joins us after 10 seasons with the Jets. Nick Ehlers is set to become an unrestricted free agent unless the team can get him under contract between now and July 1st. Cheryl, how big of a priority should re-signing Ehlers be to the Jets?
Well, I think this is a huge priority for the Winnipeg Jets right now. I mean, Ehlers is one of those players, not only is finesse, I mean, he has the pace that the Jets want to play with. You saw him in Game 5 and Game 6. I thought he was hounding the puck. He was first on it. He wasn't afraid to attack the paint. And most importantly, he is so shifty and dynamic on his edges. He can create some space the way he shifts his weight so he can open up room. And that's what you want. You need a guy who can open up space in the playoffs. He did have 5 goals and 2 assists in his 8 games that he did play. And when you look at the upper part of the lineup, you know what you have with that first line, but Ehlers really is such a complementary piece to that top 3 on that top line, if you will. You look at his power play ability, you look at his shooting ability, the numbers that he can put up, and also more importantly, I just think that this group has a vibe right now, and he is part of that vibe, and they've had a winning season. You saw what they did in the playoffs, and he is a big piece of the pie when you think about their offensive lineup and how he bolsters it. So for me right now, it is an utmost priority for Cheveldayoff to get him under contract.
Yeah, he's been a huge part of their team. Now, both goalies are under contract next year, as are their top 5 D-men. If they lock up Ehlers, that's the bulk of their forward group as well. Without losing any key pieces, could this Jets team build on this year's impressive season?
Absolutely. You know, when I think about this team overall, you know, and I had them as a cup contender at the beginning of the year, it's because I was starting from the back out. I'm saying, okay, you've got a Vezina caliber winning goalie in Connor Hellebuyck. Yeah, okay, you can talk about the consistency in the playoffs. I thought in Game 6 he was excellent, so not the reason that they didn't win. Then you go to the back end, and you look at that back end led by Josh Morrissey. Here's a guy that can manipulate the blue line. I love the way he uses the net on exit, the way he can transport the puck, his first pass, and then he's just a magician in the offensive zone with calculated activation. So he joins the rush at the right time. So he was a huge loss in that Game 6, no question about it. But you look at Sandberg, I mean, what a revelation he's been. And then Pionk, and we can go on and on about what the back end has looked like and how that has to be a foundation piece. Then you get up front, and I always felt like, you know, Nemestikov in that 2-hole could use a little bit of a bolster, but every single player in this lineup, it was next man up. But the biggest thing for me, perhaps, out of all of it is the look of the team. And what I mean by that, it's not just about the pace and the hounding of the pucks, it is about the vibe. And you look at Mark Scheifele and what he did in that game number 6, and not only does it tug at the heartstrings, but it also shows you what everyone in this lineup means to this particular group. And you win as a team, you lose as a team. And I know it's cliche, but when you look at Adam Lowry going over to that penalty box, the first guy out, everyone's staying on the ice, they're just certain something you can't put your finger on when you know you got something special. And I really believe that this Winnipeg Jets team has that something special. They didn't go down without a fight. You know, we're talking about the Toronto Maple Leafs right now because you didn't see that fight, that clawback, that will. You saw it in Game 7. In the opening round, right? You saw Perfetti, you saw those guys right to the dying seconds of the game, and then you saw the pushback, the fight back in Game 6 and how disappointed they were. So they fought through it. So to me, when you look at this team, how round it is, yes, they need to tweak different areas of it, but I believe that this is not a disappointment. Disappointment to the athletes, yes, but when you think of the pride that this group has, the skill level, I think that they can go places next year, no question about it.
Well, 43 days between now and free agent frenzy. Kevin Cheveldayoff has a little time to play with. We'll see how it all plays out.